All right, so I want to make sure. I want to make sure I can hear you guys well enough. Joey, are you there? All right, Joey, I'm having trouble hearing you in the stream, so make sure your settings are set to share and everything's turned up as loud as you can get it, so I can hear you.
Oh my goodness gracious. Go to party settings. Go to at the top of the main dashboard where you can see party. And then on the right, go to party settings. And then go to allow your voice to be shared and click on always allow.
All right, because I can hear Adam clearly, but I'm having trouble hearing you, Joey. Hold on one sec.
What do I want to see for the next Transformers movie?
Yeah, Adam is pretty clear. And you're sure your settings
Nothing.
are everything's all set?
That's the only setting I had to fix, so that should be it.
Okay. All I can think. It says it's too high. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, Adam's coming through pretty clear, but for some reason, you're just a little bit lower. It's like I can hear you, but not as well. Okay. Well, we'll fix it as we go along, so that way I don't have people waiting. Hi, whoever is on here. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure everything is good to go for our. I think this would be number 3 or 3, yeah, of one of our episodes. This is going to be a live stream because we have some decent news, and so I figured it'd be good to actually live stream. That way we can talk about it with whoever wants to chat about it in real time. Feel free to send us any messages through the chat on YouTube. I think you might have to subscribe to be able to do that, but please feel free, like I said, to send us messages. And as we go along, I'll do my best to keep up with it. I'm very new to playing, streaming, and answering questions all at the same time, so I'll do my best to keep up with stuff. Hello, Bravo November 7. It's good to see you. Thanks for jumping in and listening to us. So, all right, first things first. Big announcements from. Let's start with the biggest announcements from Battlefront. We didn't get any huge new this is concrete stuff, but what we did hear is that we have they talked to us a lot about why it's going to be an Imperial story. They talked to us a lot about. We got to see some Tauntaun footage, which is going to be. It's confirmed now that we can ride on Tauntaun, so I'm like super stoked about that. We got some really cool pictures from The Last Jedi. And I have some really just great personal news myself. Me and my wife are having another little one. So the Force has awakened in my home, so I'm very excited about that. And because, Talking Sith's really just kind of us getting down and being friends and all that good stuff, I wanted to invite all of you in to my home for the night so we can talk about Star Wars and so we can celebrate a little bit because I'm having another kid and I'm super stoked about it. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about we're going to obviously be playing Battlefront. That's what the main goal, the main thing. We're going to try to push through a couple levels. Thank you, Bravo November 7. I appreciate that. for the congratulations. So also, we're going to be giving away some shirts. I don't know if any of you guys out there are parents, but we got an awesome Darth Vader shirt that says Father of the Year, and we also have another shirt that says Mother of the Year, and it has Leia and Kylo Ren on it, and it's super cute. It's like they're in cartoons. I'll make sure I put the pictures in the description when we're done, so that way you guys can check them out. But, so what I wanted to talk about tonight was one, like I said, Star Wars Battlefront. That's why we're here to talk about it. And to play it. So, Star Wars Battlefront, recently we got some news. The developers talked with Lucasfilms, and they met up, and when this game was being conceived, I guess, we just really recently found out they met up, they talked, and they kind of collaborated on this story with, I believe her name is Iden Versio. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but that's the new main character's name for this, for the story mode for Star Wars Battlefront 2. And they were saying that this story might make us sympathetic towards the Empire, which for me is like, I'm loving that because I love the Empire so much, and I love the Sith, obviously. So I'm super excited about that. So I just thought it was definitely worth talking about what could possibly be happening in the story mode that would make us sympathetic towards the Empire. I mean, because the Empire is really, like, when you think about it, the most evil of evil, especially once you get into the comic books, into the books, and into, the animated series. The Empire rules with such an iron fist. What would make you, like, sympathize for them? What could possibly happen? Because, like, this whole story that Iden Versio is going through in Battlefront 2 is going to be spanning 30 years from the Clone Wars, all the way out into The Force Awakens, I believe. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be bonkers. I'm excited about it. The Empire, sympathy. What would make us sympathetic towards the Empire, guys? First off, I didn't do my intros. I'm so sorry, guys. I got so excited about talking about what we were gonna talk about that I just jumped right into it. So we're here. We're gonna be playing some Star Wars Battlefront, and I got Adam with me as always.
Yo.
And I got Joey with me. Thanks for joining me, guys. Alright, Adam. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The story modes we've gotten a little bit more details. What are your thoughts on the upcoming story mode for Star Wars Battlefront 2? What are you thinking how do you think it's gonna go down?
Well, it's interesting because it's the first Star Wars story-based game that's gotten any sort of big release since LucasArts closed. So the last ones that I can think of were the Force Unleashed games, but LucasArts was the publisher and developer. So this coming out is interesting because you're talking about the producers speaking with LucasArts people, and that's a gap that didn't originally need to be bridged. So this is the first time we're kind of dealing with it. In terms of making the Empire seem sympathetic, the only thing I can think of is probably going down this similar route to what Force Unleashed did, which is drawing a distinction between the Empire and the Emperor. I think that those games because you were a bad guy in those games. You were fighting Jedi, you were hunting Jedi,
Yeah,
Vader was
that's true.
conflicted a little bit, but the Emperor was a bad guy. So I don't think Star Wars will ever do anything that makes the Emperor seem like a good guy.
Yeah,
At least not in canon.
yeah,
But I think that they might start to draw that distinction. So you might start to see some dissent within the
mhm.
Empire against the Emperor
Yeah.
because
That
he's a little
to
bit of a
go along with
zealot
that
and an
point.
irresponsible leader.
Yeah, to go along with that point, just real quick, Erica R. Just jumped in to real quickly say, she said, I think it would have to be, I think it would have to be something like they're not bad, they're just misunderstood. Something more
Right.
complicated with the Jedi Order and a wider spectrum instead of good versus evil to make us sympathetic towards the Empire. So I
Yeah.
agree. That's definitely goes along with what you're saying. Thanks, Erica, for tuning in. We appreciate that. Yeah, but definitely, I think you would have to get this idea of like, there are just people behind these masks. There's even though we see him as like this evil empire. There's also, like I think that's why Finn, the story of Finn was so great for me. Was like all of a sudden, like when I saw that stormtrooper take that helmet off, I was like, oh man, that's right. Like there are these soldiers that are doing a job as well as serving the empire. But on top of that, we did get a little bit more of a look at when the game first came out. We got a little bit more of a look at the new costumes that were coming out for Rey and for Kylo. Kylo looks pretty much the same for the most part. He's got a nice little scar now, though, which is kind of awesome. And then Rey, she's definitely dressed more like a Jedi. It feels like she's definitely dressed more in the Luke style of like Padawan type learner. That's what I'm definitely the vibe I'm getting from her. But we also, like, the more exciting news to me is that we also got a really great look at Kylo Ren's starship. His starfighter, and I'll make sure I post a picture, a link to the picture in the description of this video once we post this video up. But yeah, it looks really cool. Have you gotten a chance to see it, Joey, at all? The new starship? Mm. Mhm. Oh well, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
Jedi Order. Let me jump into a game with you guys because I get so into talking with you that I will sit here and be like, yeah, let's do it. All right, joining game now. Awesome. All right, so I'm jumping into a game with these guys. Let's do some blast. What do we got going? Blast. Are we winning? What's going on?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
nine
sweet.
and three right now. So.
Awesome. At least we're winning. All right, blast on Twilight on Hoth. Sweet.
I think one of the other interesting distinctions would be the difference between a clone trooper and in the Empire, Imperial Army and a stormtrooper. Because before the first Death Star blew up, all the stormtroopers were clones, and then after that, they actually had to recruit and indoctrinate, and that's why Finn's story is so interesting. So if they can make a Finn-like character after all the clones are gone, then I think they can make it sympathetic.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think when it comes to the Empire, and the reason why I sympathize with the Empire now, even though um, we still haven't gotten to see what the storyline of Battlefront 2 is going to be, I am an Empire sympathizer just because of I kind of saw I'm not one of those people who is all for the Jedi Order because I could see the corruption in it, and I could see why Anakin wouldn't trust them after a certain point in time, especially after watching the Clone Wars and seeing how they basically just tossed his Padawan to the side and
Right.
yeah, Ahsoka, and basically like dumped on her when Tarkin was like, instead of taking the side of Anakin, and not only that, but Ahsoka was probably one of the best and most honest Jedi there were, and Yeah, and she and her whole character gets come into question. On top of that, Anakin's already struggling with his trust for the Jedi Order, and amongst a ton of other reasons. But it was just with all of that put together, I just never really trusted the Jedi to begin with. Not only that, but Vader's always been my favorite character, and he is basically basically the mascot of the Empire. So, that's why I've always loved the Empire, because of that. But it's going to be really interesting to see, because it has also been confirmed that this is canon now, that the Star Wars Battlefront 2 storyline is going to be a canon part of the Star Wars storyline, which is incredible, because that's not how Star Wars Battlefront 2 was. It's like we knew about the 501st and all this, but that storyline wasn't really a part of it. But it was such a good story that I always had been like, man, it'd be so great to see this, kind of flesh out a little bit more. So to know that Battlefront 2 is going to have hold a little bit more weight, and I died. Did I see somebody? The knowing it's gonna hold a little bit more weight, I think, is gonna be awesome. But besides the Star Wars Battlefront 2 news, and knowing that one, it's definitely gonna be a canon story, and two, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of the Empire and a lot more of that side. We also got some really if you have not seen the Vanity Fair spread, I'm gonna go pick up the magazine. I think it came out today. The magazine
comes out tomorrow.
It comes out tomorrow. Sorry. So the magazine comes out tomorrow. I'm definitely going to pick up a copy. The spread is amazing. It's amazing. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, I'll definitely, once again, there should be a couple links posted attached to this video. That'll be one of them. I'll post a link to the Vanity Fair website, because it's definitely worth a look through. Thanks, Adam, for posting them up on the Talking Sith page. You can also go there and check it out. Any word on how long the campaign will be? Bravo, November 7th. Actually, you know what? I don't know how long the campaign is going to be. They didn't say that, but yes, it will have Tauntauns. You will be able to ride Tauntauns. That has been confirmed.
And we do know that the disc size of Battlefront 2 is about 3 times as large.
Yeah, we do know. Yeah, we do know that the size.
And most of that will be campaign oriented.
Yeah, so I guess most of that. So we can definitely say that. I'm hoping for, and I don't know about you, Bravo, November 7th, so please let us know what you're hoping for, but I'm hoping for at least a good 20 to 30 hour playthrough. I know that's asking for a lot, but I'd like something like that, you know what I mean, that has replayability to it. That's kind of what I'm asking for. Let us know what you want, though. What are you looking to see out of that? But yeah. And thanks again for, I think it's Shasta Nugget. That's an awesome name. Thank you, and make sure you guys, thank you for dropping some questions for us, and also make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because now you're entered for a chance to win Star Wars Battlefront 2. We're going to be doing the drawing probably on November 10th, so that way we can make sure you have the game by November 17th. And whatever system you have it for, we can be talking about it with you. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, the spread in Vanity Fair is going to be. I'm sorry, it is really beautiful. My favorite picture out of that was the picture with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill hugging. It literally, it brought a tear to my eye. I won't lie to you, it brought a tear to my eye. We lost, guys. We lost.
Man, we got wrecked.
That's not good. I was running around trying to find you guys, so I didn't get any kills because I was just looking for you. Bravo November 7 says he would like something like 10 to 20 hours. I agree with you. I think that would be definitely good. Adam made a great point on our last episode that about the game, and we know now. Actually, Adam, I'll let you talk about it a little bit. There is a game in development. What do you know about it up to this point?
So the only thing I know for sure has not been news. It's been it was announced over a year ago because it came up in my memories feed about a month ago. So it's not news, but that is that the developer is Respawn Entertainment, and they are known for two things. One, for being the people that left Infinity Ward after Call of Duty. So they have some gaming development chops, and also they made the Titanfall games. So they make good tight shooters. Honestly, I didn't play Titanfall 2, so I can't speak to the campaign. But Titanfall 1 was a good game. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of game they make. If they make something that's like Titanfall in the Star Wars universe, I would play it. I think that would be pretty similar to this, though. So I wonder what they would do to set it apart. If it's a full campaign type game with storyline stuff, or if it's more of a multiplayer oriented shooter, because that sells the most copies to all the all the casuals, all the neckbeards out there.
All the
so
casuals
I don't really know. I don't really know which direction they'll take with it, but I do know that it's being developed by Respawn and that it's pretty hush hush. So I don't know anything about which era it will take place in. I don't know if it'll be canon, if it'll be old school or new school Star Wars stuff, or if it'll be a shooter or what. But I do know that it's Respawn Entertainment, and those are the guys that left Infinity Ward after their fallout with Activision. Yeah. So it should be good.
Yeah. Bravo November 7, you're hesitant to pre-order. I mean, I get that, dude. I definitely understand that. I was hesitant to pre-order Star Wars Battlefront when it originally came out, and then I did. Me and Adam don't agree on this. I was a little bit miffed when they announced Greedo and Nyenyub for the DLC characters after we got like the main couple of them. I was kind of annoyed, but then we got Dengar and a couple other. Who else did we get? It was Dengar. It all came out at the same time.
Lando.
Yeah, Dengar and Lando, and then the spiky dude, the lizard dude. Oh my God, Chaz, I'm blanking.
Bosk?
His name. Yeah, Bosk. I'm sorry. I think those all came out at the same time too. So once those came out, I felt like, all right, now I'm starting to understand a little bit. Like, yeah, I kind of want these random characters, but I would like more of them. Just getting those ones,
And I think that's where we agree. It's not a problem that we got those characters. It's that they shouldn't be the best characters available.
Yeah, they weren't the best characters available. I didn't mind getting those characters. I just wish that we had gotten more. But you know what? It's okay because Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming out. So I know with Star Wars Battlefront 2 we're gonna get a lot more heroes. And yeah, now that Tauntauns are confirmed, I definitely agree. I'm definitely gonna get. I mean, me and I know Adam and I'm pretty sure Joey too are gonna definitely be getting the full, the full shebang. We're gonna get it all.
Yeah, I've got it pre-ordered. I'm very excited, but I liked this one too. So I know that some players didn't like this one. It got a lot of criticism for a lot of reasons, and I know that 2 is aiming to, satisfy those critics. But I can see not pre-ordering it if you didn't like this one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Shasta Nugget wants to know real quick who were our favorite heroes from this game.
Man, that's tough. I wanted to love Han because he's my favorite hero from the movies.
Yeah.
But in terms of playability, I don't really know. Boba Fett was sick. Boba Fett was really cool because he had the vertical stuff. Bosk is really fun because of his Dioxis escape.
Yeah.
In terms of Rebel heroes, I'm trying to think of who they all are right now. I don't really know. Yeah, Leia's kind of broken, honestly. She's really good. And Luke's pretty good, too.
Bravo November 7 wants to know if Battlefront 2 will have surface-to-space entry for ships. I hope so, dude, because in Battlefront 2 for PlayStation 2, it was awesome to go from space to into, like, somebody's ship, like, mess up a bunch of stuff, jump back in your ship, and then go back out. That was so incredible, and I was kind of bummed when they didn't have more of that in this game, because I kind of thought that's what they would be, so...
Yeah, that was one of the main criticisms.
It hasn't been
from the
confirmed
fans
yet, but I'm on board with you, man. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it, but I don't know if it's been confirmed.
They have confirmed larger scale space battles, so yeah. I don't see them not doing that.
Oh, I definitely think they have. Just knowing that they're putting such a deep storyline in there we already know that they've listened to us because that was my main
Yeah,
complaint. Was like, hey
and
man,
they're
I
very
really
active
need.
on social media. If you
Yeah.
speak to the Battlefront Facebook page, they respond to
Yeah,
any questions or
and if
criticisms.
you ever get a chance, check out the forums, and the Battlefront 2 forums are a pretty great place to find stuff out first. Real quick, to answer your question, Jess Nugget, before we get too far away from the point, my favorite hero was Vader. I just liked in this game how he felt like you like he played exactly how you felt he should. He was like definitely heavier when it come to moving around. Like he felt like he weighed a little bit more, and not only that, but he just like once you get if you get in that room full of rebels and just start slicing away and force choking people, you just feel like such a BA. Like you feel like the man. So Vader
Yeah,
was
I think
definitely
they
my
did a good
favorite
job
hero.
making each character feel appropriately, clunky or loose or whatever. That's
Yeah.
one thing I did think they did well. Boba Fett was nice and light. Vader was a little bit more of a tank.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Palpatine
Vader
was kind of
definitely
slow
felt
but
like a
really
tank.
powerful.
Speaking of that, speaking of tank, first real quick out to Shepard. No, Vader for president. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, Vader for president, bro. I'm down for that. Vader for president. I'll be his vice for sure. But yeah, getting on that, there's gonna be classes in Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's something to keep in mind. That there is gonna be like a soldier class, like a medic class. There's going to be a droid class. I mean, that's something we haven't even really dove too deep into, is that you can play as droids. I mean, a super battle droid? Come on, dude. I'm going to be
Yeah, you
effing
can do
stuff up
that.
with a super battle droid.
Yes, too.
Oh yeah, man. There's gonna be because I mean it's gonna be in the Clone Wars, so we're gonna have droids again. I don't know if anybody remembers Star Wars Battlefront 2, but you could play as the destroyer droids, and
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
really
awesome.
fun. That was really fun, dude. Because if you got into like the center of a bunch of clones, dude, you just set up your thing and just went off, dude. Just do serious work, man. It was awesome. But yeah, so there is going to be classes, so that's definitely something to keep in mind as we learn more about the game and hear more news to try to keep that frame when we're talking about different soldiers and things like that, because things are gonna be different. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wrist rockets for days, son. Wrist rockets for days. Yes, the Nuggets. I hear that, dude. Wrist rockets for days for sure. So yeah, guys, those who are just jumping in, if you are just jumping in, I'm Chaz, your host of Talking Sith. I got Adam here with me. I got Joey here with me, and we're talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2 and what's going to be coming. We're doing a live stream today because we're doing a little bit of a celebration. I just found out that I'm having a new little nugget in my house and the little baby, so we're doing a little celebration live stream, giving away some shirts. So please make sure you subscribe, like us on YouTube, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. We're at Twitter on Talking Sith, at Talking Sith, or just like us on Facebook, and that automatically, if you do any one of those things, you are now thrown in to win Star Wars Battlefront 2, for whatever system you have it for. And we're going to be doing the drawing around November 10th, so that way you can get the game November 17th. Thank you, Shepard, for the congrats. I appreciate that. The Force has awakened within my home, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. But yeah, while we're on that, talking about the little one, my main, because I like to try to come at this every week with some sort of topic to talk about, because Star Wars is such a broad thing. We could jump from subject to subject to subject without any, you know what I mean, and we could be here all night. So what I like to do is try to bring a topic with me every week to talk about real quick, and this week's topic is the Skywalker family. I wanted to talk about the Skywalker family and their importance to the Star Wars universe and to the continuity of Star Wars, and just to how we tackle Star Wars in general, because they're such a big part of it. Because it also, like I said, my family is growing, and so as I thought, as I was thinking today what we were going to talk about, family was obviously heavy on my mind. So I'm like, oh well, let's talk about the Skywalker family. So currently, the two Skywalkers that we know, or the three, I'm sorry, Skywalkers that we know are alive are Rey, or not Rey, I'm sorry, Kylo. That's just my imagination,
Spoiler
right?
alert.
That's my, yeah, spoiler alert. You hear it here first. Kylo, Luke and Leia. Those are the three ones that we at least know are definitely around and Skywalkers. So, let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about Kylo or Ben Skywalker. We'll talk a little bit about him first because he's to me one of probably the most interesting Skywalker alive right now, besides his uncle Luke. But I just want to talk a little about Ben. We talked a little about last time in his relationship with his mom, Leia, and what kind of that will mean for this movie. But really, I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about him in terms of what is he doing right now. What do you guys think he was up to after his face got sliced off? And he got his butt kicked by this brand new Jedi who just figured out what the Force was like 2 days ago, and now she's ready to destroy him. I don't know. We'll start with you, Joey. What do you think? Oh, Ben Wren. Yeah, right. No, Bravo. November 7th says Ben Wren. Yeah, I'd like to see. There's been this little theory that Kylo and Rey might get together. And I'm just like, for that to happen, she has to do some serious forgiveness, man.
But
she killed
cousins.
yeah, right. They're cousins though. She did like some serious, he did some serious, messed up stuff to the only person she ever connected with.
Yeah, they're not gonna get together.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
think
like Draco and Harry relationship.
Yeah, right.
Not gonna happen.
I'd like to see it too, but I don't know. But yeah, Joey, we'll start with you. What do you think? What do you think Kylo's up to right now, and what do you think his role is gonna be in The Last Jedi? Yeah.
The rebels are falling behind. Be careful, they outgun us.
Yeah. Shasta Nugget says he's gonna wreck everyone in this next movie. That's a pretty great assumption there, and I'm pretty much gonna agree with you 100% on that one. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go ham. I feel like we're gonna see some of the best lightsaber duels we've ever seen in these next two movies. I mean, I think we're going to see some of the best ones we've ever seen. Not to mention technology's come a long way, even since the Clone Wars, and not the Clone Wars, but the prequels. Even since then, technology's come a long way. So I'd like to see some crazy lightsaber duels. But yeah, as far as what Kylo Ren is up to. He moves into Vader's castle. That would also be dope if he found Vader's old hang spot and took over. But yeah, no, I think Kylo, because obviously he lost to Rey. I feel he went back to Snoke to finish his training, so we at least know he's. I mean, that's the only confirmed activity we know he's definitely been up to, because Snoke said you're gonna come back this way to finish your training. So Adam, what do you think that training entails for him?
Yeah, I think it depends on who Snoke is, because we don't know very much about Snoke. I think that Kylo Ren's path so far has been pretty similar to Vader's path, in that he had to do something kind of unforgivable to seal that he was Sith. And Vader killed all those Tusken Raiders, and then eventually betrayed Obi-Wan, and killed Mace Windu, and all these terrible things that you can't come back from. And Kylo Ren's killed his dad. So I think now he's probably pretty much dark. I don't think there's much conflict there anymore. And we know that after Vader and Obi-Wan dueled, the Emperor wasn't very kind to Vader and was pretty cruel, and that's sort of molded him into that machine that he became. And I don't know that Snoke is as cruel as the Emperor was. So if Snoke is training him as cruelly as the Emperor trained Vader, then I think we'll see an ultimate evil Sith Lord, throwing Force lightning and slamming people around and stuff. Whereas in the first one, I think he was a little bit more of an angsty kill him.
Yeah.
I also think that we know what Anakin's motivation was for his turning, and we don't know that about Kylo Ren. If Kylo Ren just wanted to be his grandpa, then I mean that's not going to happen. But if he had some secret love or child or something that made him want to get away from the Jedi, then we'll probably see some more of that. I do know that Last Jedi is supposed to be extremely dark, even darker than Empire.
Yeah.
So that'll probably have a lot to do with Kylo Ren and Snoke. I also know, and Rian Johnson he's the director of the new one, he might be trolling, but I do know that he said in an interview, don't expect to see much of Snoke. And he might just be trying to throw people off, but he said that. And if that's the case, then it's going to be a whole lot of Kylo. But I'm with you. I think that the one thing we can expect is some really nasty lightsaber duels and some really sick force powers because they have the technology, and we caught a glimpse of it in Force Awakens, but I think that now that they're established characters, they can do less character building and more just beating each other up.
Yep. Yeah. Don't forget the younglings. R.I.P.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Definitely,
That's
dude. Chasta Nugget says, don't
I knew I
forget
was
the
missing
younglings.
something.
We will never forget the younglings, man. Never. Rest
Force
in
them
peace,
out.
little Jedi dudes. Rest in peace. Yeah, no, there's obviously all we can do at this point, and I know it's probably unfair of me to do and make you guys just wildly speculate, but I love hearing what you have to say. All we can really do at this point is just speculate on what he's gonna be up, what really he's gonna be up to. But I think that's a really good point. Like we don't really know Snoke very well right now, so we can't really say how he's gonna be trained. Luke is the other Skywalker that's definitely still hanging around. He's like, Luke is my secret favorite character. I feel like it's such a cliche to like love Luke, but it's definitely Vader and then Luke. He's just like, you know, to me, he's just always stayed true to what a Jedi should be. He just was always like the good boy from the farm who's just like trying to help save the universe, you know, who got called into duty and just had to pull up his bootstraps and like get to it. So Luke he's Luke's he's on some weird little mountainside island thingy.
Yeah, they
with
named
Rey.
that planet too, and I forgot what it is. But there's a name confirmed for that planet.
Oh, is that planet actually confirmed now? I didn't hear what the name was, so I'll have to go back and see.
I read that today. I'll post it on the Talking Sith page later. I just forget what it is.
Okay,
It's some
that's
weird,
awesome.
unpronounceable name, true Star Wars fashion. But yeah.
All right, yeah, but so as far as Luke goes, and we got like I think about 10 minutes left before we finish up, because I try not to go past an hour 45 minutes, so that way you guys don't get tired of hearing us ramble on about Star Wars. But so yeah, just to kind of get towards the end, Luke, he wants the Jedi to end. We talked about this a little bit, so we won't get too much into that necessarily. But really, what I want to get into when it comes to Luke is I want to know what you guys think. Is Luke gonna die in this movie or the next one? Or is he not gonna die at all? Is he gonna be fine and he's gonna live through both movies?
Man, I've put a lot of thought into that, and I've tried to avoid thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to.
I think so too. Like
Right. I think it'll be either the end of this one or the beginning of the next one. Like Yoda at the beginning of Jedi. I think that it's just Star Wars tradition, and they do they put so much effort into making the films mirror each other and have little throwbacks to the old movies and little homages, and I think that would just be something that they couldn't really pass on. But I do think it has to be something epic. He needs to be killed, not just die like Yoda.
Apparently, this Rian Johnson, right? I believe his name. He confirmed that he said that he believes Mark Hamill will get an Oscar for this movie. That's how great his performance was.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and it's interesting to hear it from the director, but I've heard people who have seen early cuts say that as well. who are not
Mark
attached to
Hamill
it.
crushed the role. But I mean, I
Yeah.
think we also forget about Mark Hamill because he's so silly as just a person.
Right.
That
No, he's got some
really
chops.
he's really good, man. Anybody who hasn't seen The Killing Joke, watch The Killing Joke. Quick shout out to
Yeah. Yeah,
the
no,
Joker,
I
man.
think that I think he'll probably go at some point. I don't really know how to predict it. But I do think it has to be some kind of dual situation, as opposed to just
It's kill or be killed.
closing
Yeah.
his eyes.
So I'll ask this so I can narrow it down a little bit more. Um, if it is a duel, because I think we're all agreeing that it's probably going to be some epic duel. Who is it against?
It depends on who Snoke is, because if Snoke's a Sith Lord pulling the strings, I could see Luke going after him, trying to rescue Kylo Ren, and pull him back from the dark side. But if Snoke is just some old dude that's pulling the strings and not a Jedi, like like Sheev, then it'll probably be Kylo.
Okay.
But I do
Okay.
think there's a big bad behind the scenes that we haven't seen much of yet. Again, like the Star Wars tradition. The first movie, all you thought was Vader's this ultimate bad guy. And then the second and third, you realize that he's got nothing to do with it. That the Emperor's really doing
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure you guys know I'm keeping up with you. The comments are hilarious. I don't want him to die. I'm going to be crying through the movie every time I see Carrie Fisher already. Yes, Erica, definitely. I agree with you. Every time Carrie Fisher pops up, I'm going to have a mini breakdown. Apparently she lives into episode 9, though, so we can at least be happy
Right,
about
and
that.
that's what I was going to say, is Mark Hamill is also confirmed for episode 9.
Yes.
So if he dies, he's got to have a Force Ghost, because...
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And I think that's the Jedi tradition anyway. You know, the Jedi aren't about staying alive forever. They're about becoming one with the Force. So I don't think he would see it as tragic dying. At least
No,
not
that's a part
the
of that's a
canon
part.
we
Yeah,
know.
the Sith really are the one who are afraid of death, because that
Right.
means you lose your power, and you don't want to do
Right.
that.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he dies, but he's still a big player in what happens
Yeah.
next.
And Shasta Nugget, before we start wrapping stuff up, Shasta Nugget says Tauntaun slices him open and then crawls inside him.
Just to get back, every creature he's ever beaten, Womp Rats and Minox and the Rancor, they all come back to get him back.
Yeah, they do. They do. Oh god, that's funny, man. I like that. I like that idea. But yeah, so the only other one to talk about is Princess Leia. We know that she lasts into, like I said, it's been confirmed she's at least in episode 9. And that they're not using any CGI to recreate her likeness, which I am in love with. Not that I
Yeah.
did not like seeing her in Rogue One. I thought it was beautiful seeing her in Rogue One. It definitely super touched me. For those of you who might just be joining, we're gonna be wrapping up a little bit soon, but you jumped in just in time for me to hear me say, if you subscribe, you get a free copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2, or like us on Twitter, or follow us on Facebook, or dislike this video, and then you're going to be entered in for a chance to win. So it's really no effort on your part, and you might get a free game. So I'm kind of just being super nice right now. So, but either way, go ahead and do that, and also check us out every week if you can. We try to do a video every week. I'm trying to get better and more consistent with what days I get the videos up, but like I said at the beginning of this announcement, this whole big live stream is to announce that I'm adding another little Padawan onto my family and adding a little nugget. So we get a little bit busy, especially because we're all parents. So if we don't have it up right away afterwards, I'm sorry, but we're definitely going to try to be a little bit better about it than I have been. So sorry about that, and we'll get better. But yeah, so before we go, biggest thing for me, like I said this week, has been learning that I have a little one coming along, which I'm super excited about. So the last thing I just wanted to quickly chat about was Star Wars is a generational thing, that's really what it's all about. It's about passing it on down I got it because my mom watched it, and I know you guys probably watched it because your parents watched it, or I know Joey, in your case, old man, it was out when in the theaters when you were younger. So I'm sure your parents are the ones who brought you to go see it. So Really, the last thing I just wanted us all to quickly say. First Star Wars memory. When was, um, what's your first Star Wars memory of when maybe the first time you watched it, all that good stuff, and then what do you want your child's first Star Wars memory to be? Like, if you could be in complete control of how they get introduced to Star Wars, what would you want their first memory to be?
You're scarred for life.
Yeah. 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 Okay, yeah, so you like it to be more, yeah, I'm sure. You like it to be more organic, like just kind of how it was for you, like whatever, whatever draws it.
Casualties. We estimate 75%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bravo November 7 said I saw it in 77. I'm old. Nice, man. He also said, great stream. Thanks, man. We really appreciate the love. We just love talking about Star Wars and like talking with you guys. This is like the first time that we've had people, besides Erica, she's been there since day one. Thank you, Erica. We appreciate you coming each time we talk and hanging out with us. That's so awesome. And, first memory, Erica says her first memory was of Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's corpses.
Yeah, I remember
That's
that
a pretty
too. That
grisly
left a
memory.
mark on me. It's funny. I remember that exact image, and I'll always remember that. I think that exact shot. But I don't know my first memory. I remember asking my dad who his favorite character was, and he said Darth Vader, and I said no, your favorite good guy. And he would say I don't know, Chewbacca. But we would drive around, and I would pretend the car was the Millennium Falcon and stuff, and
Yeah.
he would swerve and make it feel like we're flying. I don't know. It was cool. But
I got some
think,
tricks up my sleeve.
yeah, exactly. Just bucket of bolts. Yeah, I think that he did a good job of making it organic for me because I mean he's not a huge movie buff or anything, but he never made me feel like I wasn't cool for liking it. I guess.
Yeah.
And in terms of my kid, I don't know that I care. Like I'd prefer that he watch the old ones first. I guess that would be my one preference.
Yeah.
But I don't care if he doesn't like Star Wars. I just want him to have something that is what Star Wars is to me for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I've got Star Wars and Harry Potter and all these things that I care so deeply about that meant so much to me as a kid. And if he doesn't like Star Wars or Ninja Turtles or whatever it is that I like, that's fine. I just hope that he has something that allows him to connect and really lose himself in a fantasy world because the world is so messed up in reality. So
Yeah.
that's all I hope for. I hope Star Wars is good to him and he loves it as much as I do. But if he chooses something else, I'm down.
Nice. Well, you guys are much better than me because I have my children's Star Wars moment exactly planned out. No, I'm kidding. But no, like when it comes to Lila, she already is starting to fall in love with Star Wars, and she's kind of gravitating towards, like you said, some of the droids. Which is it's funny. She knows R2D2. She loves BB-8 obviously, but she continuously messes up C-3PO's name and calls him 3PPO, and it's awesome.
That should be his new name. I'm gonna start calling him that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's her thing. She definitely is into it. As far as my first memory of Star Wars, and what the biggest one was Bravo November 7. Just real quick before we get going, I just wanted to say thanks for joining in. And the opening scene, Bravo November 7 says the opening scene of episode 4 on the silver screen. Yeah. Definitely. I agree, man. I agree. But yeah, for me, it was when it got re-released in the 90s when they did the remastered editions and they re-released them in the theaters so that way people could go see them. My mom went and took me to go see The Empire Strikes Back. I think it was
Yeah, my dad took me to
96
Jedi.
or 97 that came out and they did that. But yeah, when they did that, I remember being taken to the theater and yeah, just that opening moment of Star Wars where you're like, oh my gosh, what is about something
Crawl.
epic is definitely about to go down. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what this is, but this is about to be the best thing I've ever seen. And then I just remember being glued to this. I never sat still when I was a kid. I sat still through that whole movie and watched the entire thing and was like I was blown away. And then I remember the only other really fond memory I really had of it the only really great moment I had, other than that, was when we went and saw the prequel. And my mom was such a massive Yoda fan, just a huge Yoda fan. And when he went to go fight Dooku, and we saw him about to open that saber up for the first time, my mom lost it. And seeing her go like just straight fangirl, it always had me. It always connected me. Yeah, to that movie, because
Yeah, I took my dad to see Rogue One, and that's how he reacted to Vader, and I
Yeah.
totally felt the same way.
yeah, and it's just it's super epic. But yeah, that's really, like I said, Star Wars is a generational thing, and it definitely, it's one of those things that we pass on from place to place. So it's great that it's reemerging so strong right now, and people are loving it so much. But yeah, guys, that's about it. That's our 50-minute mark. So I want to quickly thank my co-host, Adam. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Joey, thank you so much for coming by, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Shepherd No, Bravo November 7, Shasta Nugget, Erica R. Wow, you guys came and talked with us, and like, I know it's just such a simple thing to sit and talk with us, but we love you so much. The fact that you would take seconds out of your day to come and geek out with us means a ton. It means so much to us, more than you would ever know. Appreciate it. So thanks you guys for coming by. Check us out again. I want to do more of these live streams. They're a lot of fun, and it's fun talking with you guys in real time. So I think we're gonna try to live stream more than we have been, because it's a good time. I really don't make
You
sure
are
you
breaking up.
subscribe. I am breaking up a little bit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I should be good now. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you want to win a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2, subscribe. If you want to, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, any of that good stuff, then you'll be automatically entered to win. Those of you who tuned in tonight got yourself entered in to win some T-shirts. So that'll be a nice little prize. And once again, thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.